Who is Ed Martin? Why is he the U.S. Attorney of the District of Columbia? What does that mean? How does that compare to the Attorney General of the United States? What is his mission? Why is he busy trying to rattle and troll elected officials? Why did he participate in a dismissal of an indictment and prosecution against one of his clients when he was in private practice before Donald Trump picked him to be the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia? What are its powers? Is he going to be brought up on ethics charges? What did the Democrats in the House and Senate do about it? We cover it all, connect all those dots on Legal AF, the YouTube channel, and on Legal AF, the podcast. So on Legal AF, the podcast, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, here's a clip from one of our most recent episodes. We call it the After Dark clip. Here you go.
Popok, State Bar, DC Bar, what's going on? I know that the Democrats in the judiciary reported Ed Martin, the DC interim U.S. attorney who's pretending he's the attorney. They're saying, look, all the stuff you're doing by threatening members of Congress and also, by the way, representing your former January 6th client while you're still at the DOJ and then dismissing your own case while you're the lawyer for the person. Yeah. So you were representing the person while you were at the DOJ, then dismissed your own case to help your own client and didn't recuse yourself. That kind of seems like something to be disbarred for. Those are the allegations. Lightning round, Popok.
No, I think you covered. It's easy. I think you covered it. Ed Martin is wholly unqualified. He's unethical, and I kudos to the Senate Democrats to try to hold these out of control U.S. attorneys that Donald Trump has placed in there to be his pit bulls accountable. They, you and I did a report 3 weeks ago about he signed the dismissal for his own client on a Jan 6 matter. He didn't even think that maybe somebody else in the office should do that. It just shows you the cracked lack of character, lack of ethics. And I think the bar should open up an investigation, will open up an investigation. I mean, they all automatically will based on this filing. I mean, it's a page out of the Republicans' book. They were constantly filing, as I mentioned before, Elise Stefanik filing one against Beryl Howell. You got Donald Trump going after, right now you got Donald Trump going after all big law firms because they have DEI programs. I just did a hot take on he should go look up Sullivan and Cromwell, who represents him in his criminal case, because they have a huge DEI commitment on their own website. But, he had to do an executive order to get back at Perkins Coie, who he lost a major case against down in Florida, but he doesn't like the fact they were involved with the Steele dossier. And, again, he's like, there used to be these cases where 30 years after the war ended, somebody came out of the woods and thought the Civil War was still going on. Donald Trump's still running these old historical vindictive, and he's wasting our money, our time, our energy. Not one of the things that he signed this week on executive orders, not one of these things that Ed Martin is talking about, I'll help you, Elon Musk, not one will help anyone in our audience or even outside of our audience with their kitchen table issues, with their economics, with how they're going to worry about a parent or grandparent, their healthcare, their children, schooling, how to pay bills, because this administration is the most removed from the constituency and the people that I've ever seen. It has to do with who's in the cabinet, the fact they've never struggled. I would say they've always been billionaires, but they are so apart. And they covered it with a sheen of populism that got them elected. But the reality is they have nothing in common with the average American, and it shows every day. I've never seen, maybe the Hoover administration, I've never seen a worse start in the first 50 days of an administration than what we are watching now. He loves to attack the now departed Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter inherited stagflation from Ford and the gas lines and all of that. You can debate whether he and the Fed at the time could have done more to get the country out of the problem. But this is Donald Trump taking an amazing, robust economy and strangulating it and killing it in 50 days for him to implement his vendetta war. That's all we're watching. He doesn't care about us. And that's obvious. And now my only question is, how irretrievably broken is the economy our foreign policy at this moment? And what are the American people finally going to do with the midterms? If I've said, I'll say one last time. Give me the House and the Senate. I will give you an impeachment and a conviction of Donald Trump. Welcome back. Hopefully now you know more than you knew going in about the intersection of law and politics. We named that show Legal AF, a little bit cheeky, 5.5 years ago. Now you know why we did. And if you don't, join us on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time for our full-length 1-hour podcast. Wednesdays, I do it with Karen Friedman at Knifilo. Saturdays with my co-founder, Ben Meiselas. And then I do hot takes like this at the same intersection, that hot corner of law and politics about every hour on the Midas Touch Network. And if I'm not there, I'm on Legal AF, the YouTube channel that I curate in collaboration with the Midas Touch Network. So until my next report, I'm Michael Popok. I'm Michael Popok, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popok Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popok Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popok Firm today at 1-877-POPOK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopokfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popok Firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.